one of the best performing prime ministers.
It's very possible, by the way, that the Prime Minister does not even know the contents of the committee report.
Olw'enkyukakyuka mu mbeera z'abantu n'obutonde ng'amawulire ge tufuna galinga agatumalamu essuubi ku Uganda ey'enkya. Ensi yonna ebyobufuzi nga bitabanguka, ebitongole nga byerabidde ogwabyo.
Si Nuupu yokka.
Abakuumaddembe nga bava mu mbeera. Weetaagawo okutuula n'okukkaanya ku lw'obulungi bw'ensi yaffe. N'omukutu gwo ogw'akabiito mubaraka Sarah for Pericles we guyingirirawo, tuula tuyige, wuliriza.
Hassan, I'm going to send you out. There is one house.
Oganyulwe.
So where we are moving to now is to again convince the people of Uganda of what has been achieved in the past and what we are planning to do now. At Kololo, I will say more in the afternoon, but really we have got two major thrusts. Thrust number one is to work with the middle class and the investors from outside to completely transform Uganda from a lower middle income country, which we are now. We are no longer a least developed country, we are now a lower middle income country, to high middle income country moving towards first world country. I think the idea is that in this Sanja which we are now concluding, if you check the figures, the GDP of Uganda has doubled, apparently. I had not bothered to check that, but they pointed it out, that at the end of the last Sanja we were like 34 billion, we are now 66 billion. It's really, I don't know why NRM doesn't talk more about some of these things, because they are really remarkable. To double the size of GDP in one term is not a mean achievement. And this is what we intend to do in this coming term. And things are now much faster because we have everything that we didn't have in the past. We have electricity, we have the roads, although we need to repair some of the others. We have the telephones, we have the manpower, the educated people, we have the peace. That's why we are being flooded with more investments. Because people in the world are looking for a peaceful area, a peaceful and profitable area where to invest. That's why there's one of our Asian people, the one who was heading the Uganda-Indian Association, I've forgotten his name, but he always tells me about Uganda being a land of the 3 Ps. Peaceful, profitable, and something else, 3 Ps. Peaceful, profitable, and some other third one. It has got everything. They are coming because there is peace. But on the other side, we, the NRM people, need to ensure that all our population layers get involved. This is where we have some challenges. And this is where we need to address what I always call the mass issues, the issues of the masses. Number one, everybody to be involved in the money economy with the Kibaro. That's number one. Number two, education, free education for our children of the poor in government schools, for all children in the government schools. The rich ones can take their children to private schools. Number 3, the roads. Making sure that the tarmac roads are repaired on time so that we don't have to lose time and then get potholes and then come late and do so more expensively. But also, the Maram roads are maintained. And the money is always sent. The next one, health, the health. The immunization is doing very well, but the curative side sometimes has problems. Ensure that the drugs are there, are not stolen. The issue of water, safe water for all the villages, that must be concluded. Then crime. There is peace in the country. There is no war. The army cannot allow that. But there is a bit of crime and impunity. Criminals who are not handled because of some corruption among the people involved. The NRM structures need to come out and help expose crime and hold accountable all the criminals. And then getting rid of corruption. These ones will help all our people to enjoy the transformation going on in Uganda. It's not good for the middle class to do well, as you can see, because all these people who have built these houses here, you can see from far beyond Byebasubiza, areas which were bush are now high value properties. They are owned by some people, the middle class. But we want the wananchi, all the wananchi, to benefit. So this is the double mission in the coming Kisanja. Continue empowering the middle class, the investors, whether local or from outside, but make sure that the masses are all involved. I thank you. We shall say more as we go along. I thank you and I wish everybody good luck.
Being here was not an easy journey. It was a journey full of hurdles. The process was quite stringent, but we involve our grassroots common people to sail through. I want to take this singular moment now to thank the Electoral Commission for exuding those levels of professionalism. At certain point, the Electoral Commission kept on assuring us that they were giving the entire job a professional touch. Thank you, Electoral Commission. Today, a long journey is commencing. A journey. I am a veteran in this. I joined this struggle 25 years ago. I and my Secretary General, Bigirwa Moses, we are decorated generals in this struggle. Whoever is out there equally involved in this must know that we have the experience that it takes to liberate the common man, and we shall do so. We have quite a number of issues, items, as part of our manifesto, the Common Man's Manifesto, that we intended to unveil to the public today. However, given the times and whatever, we may not be able to roll it out today, but we shall write to the Electoral Commission and the police. Afford us a day, maybe tomorrow, so that we get that chance to roll out the Common Man's Manifesto. However, in brief, you will kindly permit me latitude to take you through a few items in the Common Man's Manifesto. Ladies and gentlemen, time has come that equity be served all Ugandans. Equity, equality, justice,
polling station.
The most beautiful symbol of all the symbols in this race. It is a symbol of equity, symbol of equality. It is a symbol that will fight greed. It is the symbol that is transparent and to help us fight corruption. So point number one, we are here as leaders of the common man to fight for equity. Number two, during my campaign, I will advocate for the release of Dr. Zabesimbye. That one I will do. We shall request whoever is involved to dispense justice, to make sure that justice is served to Dr. Zabesimbye. However, most importantly,
one of the best performing prime ministers.
It's very possible, by the way, that the Prime Minister does not even know the contents of the committee report.
Olw'enkyukakyuka mu mbeera z'abantu n'obutonde ng'amawulire ge tufuna galinga agatumalamu essuubi ku Uganda ey'enkya. Ensi yonna ebyobufuzi nga bitabanguka, ebitongole nga byerabidde ogwabyo.
Si Nuupu yokka.
Abakuumaddembe nga bava mu mbeera. Weetaagawo okutuula n'okukkaanya ku lw'obulungi bw'ensi yaffe. N'omukutu gwo ogw'akabiito mu baraka Sarah for Miracles we guyingirirawo, tuula tuyige, wuliriza.
Hassan, I'm going to send you out. There is one house.
Oganyulwe.
To thank God for enabling us to get the nominations which we just had a few minutes back. We've gone through some hurdles, but that is now water under the bridge. We are now candidates. Myself and all colleagues and supporters of the party that is Alliance for National Transformation. Let me also take this opportunity to thank the supporters all over the country who gave us signatures. You know, we've done 3 rounds. Even when the first round there were questions, second round within a day, we got another 60 districts. The last round they were asking for 10, we got 16 districts. And the beauty of it all was that we weren't getting these signatures just from members of the party, but also from many other Ugandans who belong even to other parties, but who have come to recognize Alliance for National Transformation as a party that is focused on building institutions or rebuilding them because they've been broken down. They have recognized Alliance for National Transformation as a party that believes in the building of systems that deliver services, systems that enable the country to function. And we are glad, because in 2021, we participated. Our participation then was to sow seeds. I would like to believe, if it's the will of God, that this time around is going to be a time of harvest. "63 years of independence, even for human beings, At 63, you've gone through quite a number of stages. You came from a baby, a toddler, and then you start walking and running, and you go through teenagers, and then you become middle-aged, you become old. You do a number of things through that whole process. A country at 63 should not be operating as if we are still in teenagers. We are stuck. Been stuck in a vicious cycle, 63 years. Saying things is easy. And as we do as politicians, all over the world, by the way, one thing we do is just say things. The biggest challenge that I notice, and I believe many people notice, is the inconsistency between what we say and what we do. Because every time when there is conflict between theory and practice, there is bound to be conflict. You don't see it only here in this country, you see it in the region, you see it on this continent, you even now see it in a number of other countries globally. We have a problem. There's absolutely no reason why a country like Uganda were endowed in terms of fertile soils, in terms of the wealth that we have underground. Gold, copper, tin, bauxite. Now we've even got rare earth minerals. That a country like this, you could still find poverty anywhere in this part of the country. Freshwater bodies, River Nile, which runs from the source of the Nile until where it exits near Nimle. Along that whole patch, you don't find any commercial agriculture or irrigation is used other than the big plantations of sugar in ginger. That's a reflection of the ineptness or sheer irresponsibility on the part of the political class in this country. Because when I talk about this, I'm not only talking about the current regime. We only had hope, those of us went to the bush to fight for 5 years. And we took power. And we condemned all things that had happened before. And we believed that there was a cut-off point that we were going to redirect politics and the management of the economy of this country into a new direction. Unfortunately, that has not come to be. And here again, we are in this very mess. With a country that is literally broken. Institutions compromised, systems broken down, and worst case, the population itself has been brought down to its knees. General Museveni was here. I think he has been nominated as a candidate. I think for the 7th time. I keep hearing him talk about moving to middle income. It's not about middle income. It's not about GDP. It's not about all nature of things. However much any economy anywhere on this planet grows, if the population to whom that economy is supposed to serve is broken, then you wonder, where is your focus? Because we have seen countries that have got roads better than we have. More kilometers of tarmac roads, more capacity in terms of power generation and distribution, better cities, water systems that supply all citizens in the country, better educational systems, stronger armies, but they all broke down. You can check them out. They are there. Libya is the best example here on this continent. Country like Zimbabwe, Ivory Coast in West Africa. When you focus on the things which are seen by the eye, and you don't focus on how to develop the people to whom these things are supposed to serve, you're focusing on the wrong direction. And that's why I would like to ask the Ugandan people to retire General Museveni this time around in a peaceful way, because he cannot take this country any further beyond where we are now. Every moment he stays in office, the country is going to get deeper and deeper into problems. Why so? Because if you have got citizens who have reached a point to ask for money, even when they are going to put a signature on nomination of a candidate who is supposed to go and help them get out of their problems, you know there's a problem in that country. When you see a ruling party, because the party is the one which runs government, in a stretch of 3 months in which they were conducting their primaries, which culminated into Kololo, where they stripped themselves naked in broad daylight, and it showed who they are in Kololo. Unless the population is blind, unless the population, if our citizens are willful captives, then they can continue with General Museveni and NRM, because Kororo would have been enough for the country to retire that group in power. Because in Kororo, they were electing SEC. SEC is the Central Executive Committee of the ruling party. And people were being bought like you buy goats in a market. An extension of General Museveni and NRM by the citizenry, if the citizenry chooses to do so, it's just you are being led by goats. There is evidence. Anybody can go and check it out. It was done in broad daylight. There were 300 plus petitions all over the country in the primaries of NRM. We all want a better future. I have no doubt about that. I know that there is a deep desire within our people to have a better future, where systems function, where if anybody cheats you, maybe takes your land, even if you don't have money, that you can access investigative capacities of a police, that nobody would ask you for a bribe, that nobody would intimidate you when they have money, when they're in power, and that you can go to the courts of law, and that the DPP's office can also carry out prosecutions in a transparent way, so that a citizen would feel secure in the knowledge that the law protects them. That's not there. That's not there. Right now, anybody who has money or is in a position where he can have soldiers who are with it, that's what they call impunity. That's the impunity that caused the coup in 71 when the first Obote regime was removed. That's the impunity that caused the thrashing of the regime in 79. Same impunity that caused the second fall of the UPC regime. Rutwa only took 6 months, so there wasn't even enough time, I think, for him to do anything. So we took power, and we thought that would be the end of impunity. Now it has been reorganized in a more systematic way. One thing I can get my cap off for General Museveni: he has deliberately, consciously, persistently done what he has always desired in his heart. So I take off my cap for him. He has broken our people. in such a sophisticated way that even those who are broken are still running around him. That's what the country is. We offer ourselves as a solution to that mess. First, we don't look at infrastructure as the primary factor. We don't look at roads, we don't look at bridges, we don't look at power generation and distribution. We don't look at health services, we don't look at educational institutions. We don't look at rail. We look first and foremost as the primary factor of the development process, the human being, the citizen. Because there's nothing that can contradict the logic that the human resource factor is the central core in a development process. So even when we look at education, quality healthcare services, agriculture for purpose of food security and nutrition as facilitating factors to that core, the human being, the citizen, the human resource capacity. Because when you concentrate on that human being, you educate them well, you skill them, you ensure that they are healthy, that they are well fed. The sky is the limit. There is nothing they will not do. Even getting to the moon, they would get there. Because those who have gone there are not any better than we are. That's going to be our focus. And we are going to be launching our manifesto in a couple of days. But I'm bringing out the most salient factor. General 7 keeps talking about peace. But all these things that are happening is because of peace. He's confused a bit because we have digressing. Our understanding of peace is at variance. He thinks peace is law and order. Peace is not the absence of war, as I heard him talking about it 2 days ago. Peace is the presence of justice. If you got injustices in a country and you don't have we intend to build sustainable peace in this country because we want to focus on justice. So there is a rock firm foundation on the basis of which our people can go around doing their own things. Not caring whether you have an uncle in government, a mother who knows someone in government, or even when you don't have money, you don't have a cousin, you don't have a nun to call in case you find yourselves in a problem. No. There must be justice for all. And at this point, I'd like to call upon the government. Please, today you are in power. Tomorrow you won't. Deal with those who are not with you in a manner in which you would want them to deal with you when you are out there and they are in there. That's simple logic. Dr. Kano Chiza Besje has been incarcerated beyond the mandatory bail period. 188 days passed. A period within which, if they had any investigations and they were saying they should have proceeded with the case, they have not. So I'd like to ask the Ugandan people, most of them who seem to hide all the time, if a prominent political leader, a war veteran, an officer of NRA, UPDF, that is done to him. What about you? Most of whom don't even have the capability to pick a phone and talk to anybody who can even come to assistance. We must build systems where everybody is below the law, including the president of the country. Government should act. If they have gotten evidence, they should proceed with the case. Dr. Chizabeze should be in his home, enjoying his freedom. It's not only Dr. Chizabeze, there are many young people of NUP who are in prison. If you have cases, proceed, go, take them to court and argue your case, not to incarcerate them in the prisons without trial. Or pass a law and then we know. But to masquerade behind the law as you manipulate it is one of the most dangerous things that we can have. We saw it happen in the 60s, it failed. 70s, it failed. 80s, it failed. Even now, it will fail. Let me conclude, and maybe 3 questions, and then we give space for other colleagues who are going to be coming.
Who's abducted, come back home, because you know what happens to those that return home. Many of you don't risk the brutality. We know that Ugandans like Sam Mugumya, who returned from a Congolese prison, was abducted weeks ago, and up to now is missing. Nobody knows where Sam Mugumya is. We know Robert Kayingo Luja, a lawyer who was recently abducted from the airport, kept incommunicado for a month before being forced back in exile without even stepping foot in his house. The examples are many, ladies and gentlemen, but I tell you, my friends, we are fighting so that you can return to your home, to your families, to freedom and dignity. We are fighting so that you are received with roses and not handcuffs. We fight so that Uganda can give your children the chances and opportunities that you never got. That is why we fight. Now to General Museveni. I know you don't like listening to young people or even listening to anybody at all, but at least listen to your friend and Bushwa comrade, General Kainda Otafire. I want you to remember that Uganda was here before you, and Uganda will be here long after you are gone. You don't have to burn it down on your way out. The best guarantee for your legacy, for your security, and for what you and your people have earned in the last 40 years is to allow a peaceful, orderly, and democratic transition of power. That opportunity is available because we are not vengeful people. We still believe in peace. We still believe in justice. And yes, we believe in reconciliation. All we want is a free and fair election. No military violence, no police brutality. That is not too much to ask for. Let this election not be a military operation. It be a democratic election. That should not be too much to ask for. You are aware that for the last 5 years, your regime has done everything to break our spirit.
Katekitoka mission wekola n'ensobi wali mu kutandika netakutera ku minzaani gyayo ekikufuula candidate oyinza okutuwa beekiriza
family with no health insurance. Please don't look at them as your enemies, because they are not your enemies. They are victims too. They also wish that things can change someday. Brothers and sisters, if we succeed, this country will be free and things will change forever. It will never be the same again. Unfortunately, if we don't succeed, nobody will ever believe that we did our best. That will mean that we are condemning our children, those that are born and those that are unborn, to slavery. And that is not what we should be doing. Therefore, brothers and sisters, failure is not an option. We must get our freedom, or at least die trying to get our freedom. I don't know how much danger is awaiting us on this campaign trail, but I know that we are going to keep moving with hope and faith. We are carrying the hope of our entire generation, a hope of millions and millions of Ugandans. Brothers and sisters, I want you to understand that this that we are carrying on our shoulders is a historical responsibility. So prepare yourselves. Hug your loved ones one more time and tell them that we are going to war. We are going to a war that we never chose. A war that we are not even trained for, but a war that has been imposed on us by our oppressors. We are facing an enemy that is armed to the teeth. And we are facing the enemy barehanded, only armed with the truth and God. We are fighting this because it is a duty that we must take on. We are fighting for our God-given right to live as human beings in our own country. We will never retire. We will never give up. We will fight until we are free. And I'm sure we shall be free in the end. This is not a matter of when, but it's not a matter of if. This is a matter of when. And we know that we are going to achieve our freedom. Brothers and sisters, I want to conclude by guaranteeing to you that are here with us and all Ugandans all over the world that in the end, we shall be free. In the end, everything is going to be alright. And if everything is not alright yet, then that will not be the end. Thank you very much.